Hi guys, we've been hearing a lot in the news recently about bad actors, be it people with huge platforms online seeking to incite violence against the police or certain communities. Other examples of bad actors have been people who've been at the riots themselves, encouraging others to turn up and glorifying the violence on social media. Now, is it possible a person who calls themselves a journalist could be a bad actor? So the rioting seems to be limited to England and Northern Ireland, and I've explained before why that's the case. But how it was covered in Belfast by our friend Dougie Beattie, who I've likened to a DUP spokesman in the past, made him sound like a bad actor. Or perhaps I'm wrong. Have a listen.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Belfast City Centre. Yes, two protests starting here. One at the back end there, which is all for immigration, and one's here, which is really against immigration. Now,
okay, I don't mean to split hairs here, but even Nigel Farage has said that he doesn't have a problem with immigration. He says, he's pro-immigration as long as it's just for people who have skills that are necessary in Britain. So, right off the bat, he's saying, well, there's one group which is pro-immigration and the other is anti-immigration. But we keep hearing from the right wing that they're not anti-immigration, they're just anti-illegal immigration or anti-too much immigration. But they don't actually have a problem with immigration. So I'm a bit confused.
Just to let you see how this works, the ones here for anti-immigrants are all from working class areas. There's
How do you know all of these people? You said there's about 100 people here, and you said they're all from working class backgrounds. How do you know that? Have you interviewed every individual person there? Does he know all of these people? If he knows all of these people, that'd be very interesting, considering generally where they're from. But how does he know they're all from working class backgrounds?
Small numbers of them, but if we just look at these police officers sitting here, full riot gear, absolutely ready to go, and there is very, very small numbers, and this is why these communities are really telling me about two-tier policing.
Okay, so let's just cut to the chase here. His problem, and you're going to see it later on, is that on the loyalist side, and these are loyalists, on the loyalist side, the police have riot gear on. On the other side, the anti-racist protesters, the police don't have riot gear on. Now, why would that be the case? He's trying to suggest, it seems, that there's two-tier policing. Oh, look, they're treating the loyalists like scum, and they're treating everyone else with respect. Who has been rioting over the last number of days? Who have been throwing petrol bombs at police? Who have been attacking the police in other ways as well? Who burnt down shops? Who attacked immigrants in the street? Was it the anti-racist protesters or was it the loyalists?
And if we come along, if you could just get my cameraman to come this side with me, and now you can see there's probably about 100 protesters on that side, full TSG, absolutely ready for trouble. We go round here and we look at these riot Land Rovers, snatch Land Rovers that are here, and then we walk over to what is mainly public sector workers.
How do you know they're public sector workers? Some of them are public sector workers because they are represented by a trade union. But how do you know that they're mainly public sector workers? Have you interviewed them?
On this side, and there are hundreds of them here, absolutely hundreds of them, and you can see very clearly that there is no police with riot gear on this side.
Yes, because these people, don't have a history of rioting. See, on one side, they have a history of rioting. We've seen it already. We've seen it over the last number of days. And on the other side, they don't have a history of rioting. Why would they have riot gear on if these people don't have a history of rioting?
These are all ordinary dressed police officers. These protesters.
Protesters. Notice he didn't call the loyalists rioters by mistake, but he called these people rioters by mistake. Now, maybe it was a slip of the tongue, maybe it was an honest slip of the tongue, but, wouldn't you be more likely to have a slip of the tongue regarding the loyalists who have been rioting over the last few days, instead of these, in some cases, public sector workers who haven't been?
all have bibs on them. They are very well funded, very well organised, and that in itself is the lack of political leadership in the other side.
What do you mean political leadership? I thought these were ordinary people. Why do ordinary people need political leadership to organise a protest? I thought these were spontaneous protests. I thought these were grassroots. Why do they need political leadership?
This is the problem that's really hitting the streets of Britain, throughout Britain, because this is your public sector workers, all the unions on this side.
Is that a problem? He sounds like there's a problem. Is he upset that these people are public sector workers? We don't know if they're all public sector. Some of them may be, but it's almost as if he's presenting it as a problem, as if, well, this is not grassroots, it's organised.
Down the other side, Stevie, you could just go back here. We just go back down in. We can see the amazing amount of police really ready to have, in case anything cracks off and starts to go. But people are swelling here on the other side. There is now quite a few coming through, and numbers are swelling. There will be over this within the next hour or so.
Wonderful reporting, right? I've covered this guy before, when it came to the Northern Ireland Protocol, and he was basically regurgitating DUP talking points. So his problem seems to be that on the loyalist side, they're not organised, while on the anti-racist side, they are organised. And perhaps the loyalists need to organise better. Look, once again, as I said at the beginning, the reason there are riot police on the loyalist side is because they have been rioting. The people on the anti-racist side haven't been. It's that simple. But Doug is trying to make it more complicated, it seems. Is Doug a bad actor? I'll leave it up to you. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.